Hello and welcome to Humanities 003, the Art of Contemporary Society. My name is Edward Geika and I'll be your online instructor. So why are you here taking a course in the humanities? This is not an existential or rhetorical question per se. In fact, there may be many reasons why you're taking a course in the humanities. Everything from it fits my schedule or it fulfills my requirements to I simply can't live without studying the humanities. Still, there may be some of you who don't really know what the study of the humanities is or entails, but decided to take the course anyway thinking, I need the units and at least it's not advanced physics. So what are the humanities? The study of the humanities, as the title implies, involves an exploration of what makes us uniquely human, what it is that distinguishes us from all other creatures and allowed for our ability to think reflexively, to create the concept of a common humanity, or to understand what it means to be humane in our treatment of others, or to fight for human rights in our social and political spheres. It's not so much an anthropological or historical approach as it is a cultural study, attempting to understand the mindset, outlook, and spirit or main currents of the times as they are revealed through the arts, and as they have and continue to influence contemporary culture. In exploring these questions, we must go back to recognize the seeds of our contemporary culture, and through a study of the arts as both a mirror reflecting our culture through the past, and a lamp that might shine a light on our attempt to understand what it really means to be human in the 21st century. We must go back to our earliest ancestors, our earliest civilizations, to recognize the seeds of our contemporary understanding or sense of what it means to be human. You might ask why the arts are a fit study for this exploration. My answer is that of all the species that inhabit the earth, it is only the human animal that creates art. Much of the distinction between ourselves as a species and all others lies in the fact that it is only the human animal, only Homo sapiens sapiens, who can imagine a fiction, who can create a fantasy, or consider and think about concepts or things that do not exist. It is only the human animal that can move beyond physical vision in the ability to envision. And it is only the human animal that shares this vision, this fantasy, this imagined fiction, or experienced moment through what we term art. This communicated vision is an integral component of all communication, across time, across the globe, across borders, across ethnicities, across civilizations and cultures. It is essential because sometimes other forms of communication fail us, or they cannot capture the vision in any other way. Questions about what is or is not art are certainly debatable, but we can agree on one significant aspect when considering the word art itself, and in consideration of how it forms other words, such as artifice, artifact, or artificial. In this etymological sense, any art in whatever form or medium is an artificiality, thus the opposite of the natural, or loosely speaking, the real. Art is the opposite of nature. And perhaps this suggests both the impetus to create art and may imply a number of purposes. As an impetus, it may be an attempt to come to terms with, to understand, or even an attempt to control or appease nature, both our own human nature and the natural, social, cosmic, etc. environment as well. According to various theories, it may be an attempt to share, communicate, express, or capture our artistic vision in various mediums and for diverse purposes. For example, to imitate, nature, human or otherwise, termed mimetic theory, or to instruct for moral, ethical, religious, social, or political purposes, termed pragmatic theory, or to express the personal vision of the artist, what is considered expressive theory, and or oftentimes a combination of these three theories and purposes. In this course, we will explore this uniquely self-conscious act of creation, of expression, of communication, so as to better understand who we are as human beings and how we have arrived at our contemporary values and social, ethical, and moral constructs. The course begins in the late 17th century and incorporates an interdisciplinary approach in a cultural survey of the literature, philosophy, music, painting, film, architecture, and sculpture, in brief, the arts of the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries in Western Europe and North America. We will explore these arts in terms of the ideas and conditions that stimulated the artists and thinkers, and the contributions of their work towards the development of our contemporary culture. The course will cover cultural trends and art movements from the Rococo, Enlightenment, Romantic, Realist, Modern periods through the postmodern movements in the arts. Various assignments throughout the course ask you to make insightful connections between the particular characteristics of the art and philosophy from these movements and the cultural currents and shifts that spurred and fostered them with our own contemporary culture. The readings and resource materials from the Culture and Values textbook and overview sections in the Canvas modules are meant for study and to inform your views, and are not meant to be a substitute for them. So there's never an assignment prompt that asks you to simply summarize, paraphrase, or compile information from the readings or other web sources as a submission. I'm most interested in what you think and want to read your informed views and opinions rather than what the text or the videos state. I think we'll be covering some very exciting concepts and hopefully discovering our sense of who we are, where we have been, and where we may be heading. Please email me with any questions, issues, or concerns in regard to this course. I'm here to help you succeed, and I'm rooting for you. Bye-bye.